First Good Friday, that criminal looks over at Jesus and says, I deserve to be here. You're a good man. You don't deserve to die on the cross. Would you remember me when you come into your kingdom? And when those words were read, one of the prisoners, I heard him say, that's me. That's me. God's holy word had spoken to him. Jesus was alive in that gospel as he heard God's holy word. And Jesus remains present with us in his holy word, in the Bible. Whenever we hear it proclaimed, whenever we even might read it by ourselves in our room, Jesus is alive in his holy word. Jesus is alive and with us in good friendship. You got good friends today. When we got a good, beautiful friendship with somebody who loves us and respects us, who tells us the truth, and who is a man or a woman of faith, that person represents Jesus for us, and you represent Jesus for him or her. In beautiful, trusting, respectful friendship, Jesus is alive. How about, and here's a biggie, everybody, Jesus stays with us in the poor. In the poor. He told us, remember? He told us. Now, I was just in Rome to elect the new pope, okay? And here we are. I didn't get it, by the way. But they didn't have a big enough robe, so I turned it down. But, we had the election, the conclave for the new Holy Father in the Sistine Chapel. Oh boy, it's very sacred. It's very solemn. And as each of us go up to put our ballot in the chalice, we hold it high with our left hand, and we put our right hand on the Bible, and we take an oath that we're voting our conviction. And as we're doing that, we look up. I don't know if you've been to the Sistine Chapel before, but you've seen the picture. Michelangelo's famous, world-renowned painting in the Sistine Chapel of the Last Judgment. The Last Judgment, the 24th chapter of Matthew's Gospel. When Jesus says, I'll tell you what it's going to be like at the end of the world. I'm going to judge everybody. And all I'm going to ask them is this. When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was thirsty, did you give me to drink? When I was in prison, did you come and visit me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was a stranger or an alien, did you welcome me? When I was sick, did you comfort me and help me? When I was lonely, did you keep me company? When I was in need, did you reach out? Because Jesus said, as long as you did it to one of these, you did it to me. Jesus is alive in his poor. Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta used to speak about a 5-finger gospel. You did it to me. You did it to me. Jesus is alive in the poor. Whenever we reach out to somebody, whatever their need, when we were elected the new Pope, and we did, and the new Pope Francis, he goes into this room, and he comes out in his new outfit, okay? And he kind of looked at us and he shrugged and said, I hope you know what you were doing, all right? And then we Cardinals line up to come up and greet him and give him our love and our loyalty and our prayers. And as we started to line up, I saw him up there. Everybody was watching him. All of a sudden, he began to run to the end of the Sistine Chapel. And I thought to myself, where's he going? Was he into the bathroom or what? I did, all right? And where was he going? He went down to the 2 cardinals who were in wheelchairs. Now that was so natural, so courteous, so ordinary. But it gave me an insight to that man. He didn't want them to have to make their way up to greet him. He wanted to go see them, see? Because he saw Jesus. And remember when that famous British guy, Malcolm Muggeridge, he wasn't even a Catholic, and he was doing a special on Mother Teresa. Remember, it came out as a book and a movie, Something Beautiful for God. And when he followed Mother Teresa around Calcutta, he said to her at the end of one day, Mother, how can you do this? You go out to the sewers, and you see these dying people, and they got throw up all over them. and they've dirtied their pants, and they got maggots on them. And you pick them up, and you clean them up, and you kiss them, and you embrace them, and you carry them back to your house. He said, I can't stand to look at them. How do you do it? And she said, because when I look at them, I see the face of Jesus. You see, Jesus is alive in the poor. And when we reach out to them, when we serve them, we serve Jesus. Didn't Pope Francis capture the attention of the world on Holy Thursday? Where did he go? He didn't go to St. Peter's Basilica. He said, you know what? I'm going to go to a prison where young people are locked up. And he washed the feet of 12 of them, like Jesus did at the Last Supper. That beautiful example of service to those who were in need. Jesus is alive in the poor. Jesus is alive, everybody. Here's another way. Whenever we come together in his holy name, he is here right now. He's here in our parishes. He's here at Mass. He's here when you come together in your youth groups. He's there because we're sharing our love and our faith for him and for one another. And you know what? If you sum all of this stuff up, Jesus alive in his sacraments, Jesus alive in his word, Jesus alive in friendship, Jesus alive in our service to the poor, Jesus alive when he comes together. You know what that means, everybody? Jesus is alive in his church. Jesus is alive in his church. Jesus still lives and teaches and forgives and blesses and welcomes and heals and forgives in and through his church. Now that's a biggie for you and me as Catholics. And you hear your friends say, that ain't so. I love Jesus, but I don't like his church. And we say, sorry, it's a package deal. The two of them are one. Jesus and his church are one. Remember Saul? Remember Saul and he asked the apostles, he hated Jesus and he hated the church and he was killing them. And he was on his horse on the road to Damascus to go kill some more followers of Jesus, remember? And Jesus appeared and knocked him off his horse and said, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? Jesus taught Saul that he, Jesus, and his church are the same. And if you're doing it to his church, you're doing it to him. And that's a lesson we all need to learn. And I tell you, everybody, when you hear about all the times that Jesus showed up after his resurrection, all those beautiful readings we're having these days, whenever he might show up to one individual, but he doesn't leave it at that. He says, okay, go tell the rest of them, because we're in it together. We're part of a new family. We're part of a community. We're part of a group. We're part of the church. And the life of Christ is given us in and through the church. So all I'm asking you today, everybody, let's just make an act of faith. Dear Jesus, we believe in you, but we just don't believe that you were alive a long time ago. We do believe that. But we don't believe it stopped there. Yeah, we believe you died on the cross, you rose from the dead. We believe all that stuff happened. But you know what, Jesus, we're making an act of faith. We're making an act of faith that it is still happening. It's going on right now. Because you are alive in and through your church. You're alive and here with us right now. And we are glad you are, because we kind of don't know what we do without you. We love you, we count on you, we hope in you, and we need you around. And we say with those two disciples, please, Lord, stay with us. And we believe you've answered that prayer, Jesus, in and through your church. In and through your church. He has risen as he said, Alleluia, Alleluia. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is risen, as he said. Alleluia, alleluia.